We deny that we have had any raids that aimed at anything but the military targets of the Houthis and the forces of the former President Ali Abdallah Saleh. We do not know the source of the information that was provided in the report. We believe that the sources have been mostly Houthi-related propaganda individuals and agencies. We do not think that the team had sufficient presence on the ground to be able to document that.
Now, these strikes included refugee camps, weddings, 2 Médecins Sans Frontières hospital, a water bottling plant, an Oxfam food warehouse. If they weren't targets, then your bombs were aimed very badly.
No, the wedding is proven to be an erroneous report. It was a gathering of forces loyal to President Ali Abdallah Saleh. The Médecins Sans Frontières targets are things that we have, one of them at least was not identified as being a result of aerial bombardment. The other we acknowledged was a mistake, and we spoke with Médecins Sans Frontières. Look, mistakes do happen, but the extent of these mistakes is not as widely as it has been reported.
The point is, though, that 60% of civilian deaths, according to this report, 2,682 people were from air-launched explosives by the coalition. Is that an acceptable number?
No, it is not, and it is a hugely overestimated number. We think that the vast majority of the civilian casualties have been the result of arbitrary artillery shelling by the Houthis and forces loyal to President Ali Abdallah Saleh.
Let me interrupt you there. So, a bottling plant, Oxfam food warehouse, a refugee camps. Are you seriously suggesting that Houthis were using an Oxfam food warehouse to house their troops?
Probably not. I'm not particularly familiar with the Oxfam food warehouse, but I'm certain that they use the bottling plant. I'm certain that what was described as a wedding gathering was nothing but a gathering of military troops and many others.
Can you guarantee that none of the civilian deaths in Yemen were as a result of the use of British weaponry?
I can guarantee that all the weaponry that are in possession of the Saudi armed forces and the armed forces of the coalition are used to target military targets and are used in conformity with international humanitarian law.
Why did you want the resolution for an independent investigation into what was happening with civilian deaths in Yemen to be shelved?
Well, we didn't want it to be failed. We supported an alternative resolution that was presented and suggested by the legitimate government of Yemen.
But that government itself is accused of war crimes, so what have you got to lose with an independent investigation? Surely an independent investigation is what's needed if indeed it's a possibility that 60% of civilian deaths are caused by air explosives from the air.
Well, we can't work based on assumptions that are made on an arbitrary basis.
It's a UN investigation.
Follow up on specific situations. No, it's not a UN investigation. It's a report that was collected outside of a UN mandate, and it was based on information provided by the Houthis in most cases.
Let me just turn to another aspect of this. There are at least six British military advisors in the Command and Control Centre for the coalition. What do they do?
I do not know. I'm not going to talk about the Command and Control Centre or what the military personnel do there.
But would you expect then that these British military trainers would be looking to make sure that no British weaponry was used in any way that could actually kill or maim civilians?
No, I don't think that I would expect them to be doing that. That is the responsibility of the Saudi armed forces. And as far as we're concerned, it doesn't matter whether they are British supplied or American supplied or French supplied. Once they reach in our possession, they are Saudi weapons and weapons of the coalition, and we intend to use them as responsibly as we possibly can and in full conformity with international laws and regulations.
If the British and military advisors advised you not to hit a certain target, would the Saudis comply with that?
That's none of anybody's business other than the military leaders of the Saudi and coalition armed forces.
The reason I'm asking this is because Philip Hammond, the Foreign Secretary, came on Newsnight in November, and he called for proper investigations into Saudi airstrikes in Yemen, and he said that Saudi assurances of compliance with humanitarian law are not enough. And I wonder what representations following that the British government have made to you.
You would have to ask that question to Mr. Hammond and to the British government.
Because if it is seen to be that coalition strikes are in violation of international humanitarian law, then UK sales of arms to Saudi would have to halt if they've been found to be in breach, if you've been found to be in breach of international law. And I wonder if there was a suspension of British arms sales, how the Saudis would respond to that.
We conduct our activities with the utmost care and responsibility, and we do not expect any such action to be taken by the UK government or to be required to start with.
Ambassador, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.